you are going to need a military operation. They reckon 40%. They could easily have you caught with your pants down, but a new breed are being brainwashed. The hype train, money train, reseller margins that they're trying to achieve. Rugs can be pulled from under your feet. That'll be investors with bigger dough, but the market will get rattled. Pushing that agenda, they're going to buckle. Let's think about that for a moment. You're screwed anyway. Who was the biggest consumer of that? What do you think they're buying? Pokio Galaxy, welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you got caught up in the hype vortex? The money train? Let me guess. I send the heroes to the moon and back. ETBs, booster bundles. Yeah, I bet you've already booked your cruise for your retirement. Why not? You're going to be quids in. Well, what if I was to tell you that the data you're basing these judgments on is false? Stick around and I'll explain why. Now when I say false, what I actually mean is built on an illusion. And to explain this, let's just go back a little bit in time. Sun and Shield, beginner Scarlet Violet. Product was quite easily available. You could walk into a shop and pick up stuff at MSRP prices. Maybe buying them with the odd percentage gain off resales, just to make it like a little extra squeeze. That's fine. Moving on, I'd say around mid 151 release. In the beginning of 151, product was actually not that hard to get hold of. I was looking at buying another ETB 151 everywhere. You could buy it in some shops, most online retail places, everywhere. Done. Not a problem. I'll get it next week. Week after next week comes, I'll get it next week. Then finances say no, I'll leave it this week. I'll get it next week. Next week came, gone everywhere. Not a single site, a single shop had a 151 product overnight. And you put into the game and entered. Because before 151, it was your collectors, your players, that's what it is, it's a game. Investors have always been here. Just a small amount of them. But a new breed. The scalper. Bit of a problem. We were expecting it. Was it just the 151? Big nostalgia hit. Many people came into the game. And obviously where there's money to be made, there's always people trying to make it. Was it going to be the next base set for the future? Who knows? So, let's let that one slide. Prismatic Evolutions came along. Happened again. They're still here. But now there's more of them. And well, they're just scalpers. There's more investors coming along. Well, let's face it, they're just the same as scalpers to a degree. They're taking a product and they're holding it. So we move forward to the here and now. Ascended Heroes. It's even worse. Not wrong, am I? You try and get hold of sealed product to open. It's not happening. It's hard work. You go to multiple stores, queue up early doors to try and grab it. Most retail shops don't have it. Your local card game shop won't have it. Because, let's face it, they've become basically scalpers. High margin resellers. You know, I say resellers have always been around. Just making that small little squeeze. And there's not a problem. Sometimes it's convenience buying from them. And you don't mind paying, at least I don't, a small premium. But not the scalper prices today, the reseller margins that they're trying to achieve. So if I was to take a graph of product being bought and opened, it'll be going down. All the way to Ascended Heroes right here. If I was to take a graph of product being bought and held, sealed, it'll be going up. Is it just me having a stab in the dark, or do you see the problem? I've always been led to believe sealed product prices are governed by the singles market. If a card does not have the attraction, is it being bought? Nobody wants it. The price goes down. There's no demand. If a card is loved by everybody and is hardly sought after, the demand goes up, but the supply can't maintain the demand. The price rises. That's fair enough. That's the ecosystem of Pokemon cards. It's always been the way. But if the product isn't being opened, how can that data of the prices be accurate? It's an illusion. Because we have not just the investors that have always been here. It's got a lot of attention. We have money to be made. Pokemon 20x, 25x since it was released. Whatever. Yeah, 5x in the last year. 3x last month. 2x in the last week. Lot of hypertension. So the investors have grown and grown and grown. Scalpers, resellers, whatever you want to call them, has grown and grown. Especially when they start telling their mates, oh, I've made this and Pokemon cards, oh, bloody gold mine, made this, made that. It's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, the best way I can describe it is, imagine you've got a plate of steak and chips. Now the steak is the actual game aspect of it, yeah, and we've got the chips. It's a secondary option. That's the collecting. And like I said, we've always had resellers, investors since day dot. I bet you when base set was released, there was investors and collectors of collectibles that would have took a punt on it. So we've always had that little condiment, that little kicker to go with our steak and chips. Yeah, collectors who just like to collect the sealed products. It looks good on the shelf. Yeah, you can collect Pokemon cards and products in various ways, but small amounts. Little condiment kicker. Fantastic. Makes that meal even better. And then, as time's gone on, put a few more aside for the future. Smart. We've got investors. Yeah. Peppercorn sauce. Let's add some peppercorn sauce to that dish. Yeah. Makes it a bit more interesting. And investors are needed. Yeah. People who hold sealed product. Yeah. Within reason. It's needed for the future. So when somebody comes along and decides to get into Pokemon cards, they can buy something from the past and that same enjoyment that those in the present did. Paying it a premium, that's fair enough. You can't get it anymore. Yeah, you're paying higher prices. It's got to be value, especially if it is something that is sought after. That's fair enough. But what's happening now in today's market with this end of heroes is that nice plate of steak and chips with a condiment side kicker and some peppercorn sauce is now been given to you in a bowl, and we've filled that bowl full of peppercorn sauce. You've now got peppercorn soup with a few chips and a chunk of steak in it. It's not the same tasty meal it was. It's been ruined. That's where we're at. Too many investors, too many scalpers, not a lot of people ripping packs. The Ripfest crew. Who's ripping them? Can't get the product. I can't get the product that easily. Can you get the product? Are you ripping open extended heroes? How can the single market be true? Therefore the prices of the sealed product can't be true. The Moonbrion, for example, I know it wasn't a subset, but the Moonbreon took time for that to grow in value. Obviously, with Prismatic Evolution coming on the scene, gave that even bigger boost. But it didn't just go big up overnight. Do you know what I mean? The Rayquaza at the time was higher valued. So, how can these SIRs of Ascended Heroes be valued that high so early on? Because there's not that many around. Because the product's not being opened. What's changed? What's changed since Crown Zenith? Yeah, sets like that. Scampers. We've got a new breed, it's a new era. There's too many investors swarming the hobby. Yeah, and most of them don't care about Pokemon cards. They don't care about the game. They don't care about the hobby. It's all money, 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 money. Greed, hype. I've seen the comment sections. I've seen the posts and forums, yeah, of the investors and how much product they're holding. I've seen the sites where all these scalpers have got tons of it, tons of product. Yeah, now it's getting opened. Yeah, people like me and a lot of you out there. Well, that's Rip Packs, Rip Fest crew all the way. Get it opened. If it's designed, yeah, not to be opened, yeah, it will come in a case with a sticker on it saying "Do not open." It's not. It's to be ripped open, yeah, and mainly by kids. Let's be fair. It's obvious. You don't need statistics. You don't need a degree, yeah, in business investing. All you need is common sense. Yeah, this market can't sustain the way it is. 100%. So it's going to give. Effectively, that's my point. Is if the product isn't being opened, how can the true value? All these content creators on the investment side of things are sucking people in who hear about Pokemon cards values and buy Ascended Heroes, Ascended Heroes, Ascended Heroes, sealed product, Ascended Heroes. That they're jumping in, yeah, quite blind to be fair, buying this product because they think it's easy cash, easy money. Yeah, and there's no such thing as easy money. Let's be real. You can strike lucky. There's also this such thing as easy money, and they're getting sucked in. It's a bit like the crypto market. I had a dabble in that last year, and I got sucked into the hype. Yeah, XRP to the moon and back, and it's one of those things. It happens. Sometimes you can be a bit green, newbie. It's one of those. But the problem is, it is being pushed to extreme levels. Doesn't help when you've got celebrities and big money being involved. But that's the thing. Just like crypto, rugs can be pulled from under your feet. The more people that buy the sealed product and hoard it, the more packs, or the less packs aren't being opened. So that increases the value. They need as many small guys to invest in the product, to buy into it and hold it. And the rug pulls can be made. Just because it's Pokemon cards doesn't mean you can't be tricked and outmaneuvered by big players, because it is getting big money in Pokemon cards. So that brings bigger players to the table, bigger investments. They have more resources, more logistics, bigger tech, better tech. I mean, I hear it all the time about scalpers and the bots and stuff. Do you think most scalpers are running bots? I highly doubt it. I've seen these scalpers. Yeah. They've barely got a penny to rub together, some of them. They're not investing their money in tech. Yeah. They're not paying people to develop these systems. That'll be investors with bigger dough. I'm not saying some, yeah, don't know somebody who can run a program and get in on the action. But the chances are you're looking at bigger players. But that's just a little side note. And I'll tell you what's going to happen is these scalpers, I bet you 75% of them can't hold that product for that long without returns. So providing us who like to buy a product and rip it aren't buying from scalpers, they're going to buckle. So about 75% of them are going to buckle. What that's going to do is that's going to panic the investor, especially the new investor who don't know much about Pokemon cards. They're going to see that all this product being sold at lower prices, maybe not MSRP, but maybe close. They're going to panic. They're going to start selling. You'll have some of the scalpers, probably say 25% of them, that probably can hold that product for longer and probably will become a short-term or long-term investor. But the market will get rattled and the correction will begin. So providing, like I say, we can be strong and not buy overpriced product, I do think the market will correct itself. Now, but let's say that I am wrong and that my opinion, based on what is evidently in front of us, and that Ascended Heroes keeps rising in prices, you're screwed anyway. And I'll tell you why you're screwed. Let's take another little trip down memory lane. WOTC base set. Who was the biggest consumer of that? It wasn't investors. Wasn't scalpers. Wasn't 30, 40-year-old men. It was children. Children. A key word there. So, children were the biggest consumer of base set. Let's think about that for a moment. Where are the children for Ascended Heroes? What do you think they're buying? Do you think they're buying Ascended Heroes? Do you think they get all Ascended Heroes? Do you think their parents are paying scalper prices? No. So, when today's market, they reckon, and I think it's higher, they reckon 40% of today's Pokemon market is those children of WOTC. So if you think about later down the line, I mean, I'm 38 now. I was in Pokemon cards 11. You think, and I got into it 4 or 5 years ago, do you think 15, 20 years down the line, they're going to think, oh, Pokemon cards, nostalgia, I'm going to get back into it, I've got money now, I'm going to go paying over the odds for Ascended Heroes? No, because it doesn't relate to them. They didn't have that set when they were a kid. They're not going to get that memory buzz. If anything, they're going to go journey together. Perfect order. Sets that they can relate to. Yeah, even early Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield. Ascended Heroes isn't going to be on their first thoughts when they think Pokemon cards. They're going to go, oh, I'm going to continue my Ascended Heroes collection. Never got it finished as a child, I've still got it. Or, I got rid of it, I'm going to start it again. I'm going to pay these over the odd prices. They're not. They're not paying out thousands for Ascended Heroes products. It means shite to them. So, you haven't really thought that through. Now, because when kids used to be able to walk into a shop and pick up a pack, beg their parents, right? This wasn't that long ago. Start Scarlet Violet, right? Now they can't. Empty cardboard boxes where the product was. So your market's going to be saddled men, but let me tell you, those saddled men have already got Ascended Heroes, yeah, or they're not interested. They're probably going to sell their collections. They got to think of their retirement fund. Yeah, they might need to buy new dentures. Pokemon cards are going to be a priority. I'm not saying everybody. Yeah, there'll be some that are gonna continue. There'll be people entering the game, but are they going to be willing to pay overpriced? Yeah, product that costs a fortune for some packs of cards when there's going to be other sets, other options. Even the shorter term, nobody's going to be paying those prices forever, because it's only investor to investor or scalper to investor. Nobody's opening the product, so it creates the illusion. Now, if you can maintain that, maybe your investment's good. Yeah, but for you to sell it, you are going to need a military operation to get rid of it. The same military operations you have used to achieve it. Because if, let's say, 2 years, 5 years, whenever, a huge portion of those investors go to sell their product at the same time or a similar period, the value straight away is going to drop because the market's become flooded. So you will need a chat amongst yourselves so you can drip feed it as a collective to maintain those prices. I mean, I don't know if you've fully thought it through. It's not as simple as buying, storing, sell when it's high. I hear theories on, Pokemon are gonna, they're just seeing what we're willing to pay, they're seeing how far we're willing to go. That's why they're allowing these scalpers, that's why they're not interjected. It's like, no, wrong. The Pokemon Company have known for years what we're willing to pay for product. It's not a new thing. Many people have bought older products at jacked up prices because it's from the past. They can't get it anymore. They know we're willing to pay it. So if they wanted them prices to be higher, they would just make them higher. Yeah, it's not a new thing. There's no experiments. Pokemon don't want scalpers. They don't want loads of investors buying up all the freaking product. Yeah, it's not good for their business. Just as I pointed out, if children aren't into it, the hobby will die. It will die. And if the scalpers and investors keep dominating the market and grabbing the product before we get it, if we get the opportunity to have it, people in the Pokemon hobby are going to disappear. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can talk a lot of shite, but it continues for that much longer and becomes that much hard work to get some packs of freaking cardboard to open up. I'll probably knock it on the head. It's not rocket science to work out. And if the players and the collectors disappear, new generations don't get involved, you do this for nothing. Once the consumers go, the real consumers, because scalpers and investors aren't real consumers. So actual consumers, people like to rip packs open, disappear. They're just buying and selling between themselves. The hobby's gone. Who they're actually going to make profit to? Just off each other. Till a group of them fall flat on their face. Lost. Made a loss. Some handful laughing because they made loads of money because they're idiots. It just becomes, like I say, the battle of crypto. There's a lot more to it. Like I say, maybe you disagree. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But that's just my thoughts. Like I say, it's just like a green train. Newbies pushing out, and as long as you can keep pushing that agenda, and they keep buying this product at whatever prices, it's just an illusion. But there's a lot of manipulation can go on, rug pulls, and Pokemon cards aren't protected. They haven't got a special bubble. Yeah, it's got a lot of attention, and it's shown as big money. All the talk about 20x, 25x since Pokemon came out, 5x in the last so many years. It's a lot of hype, attracts bigger players. Where there's money, there's people with big money. And they can easily manufacture a rug pull. They can easily have you caught with your pants down. So just think about it before you go rushing off and throwing your money in a sealed product, especially selling heroes, and for continuing and perpetuating the hype and the values up to stupid prices just because you've watched a few YouTube videos where they're telling you to, or you've read a few blogs of ascended heroes all the way. Just think about it. Is it actually what you want to do? Yeah. Do you actually believe in it? Because if you don't, there's no point. Now, I'm not saying some of this content out there doesn't hold some good information. But the problem is, a lot of it's hype. Can you really trust the person that's telling you to buy any heroes? You don't know if they've got an agenda. They can tell you they've got so many years in Pokemon card investing. It means shite, because especially when some of these are faceless accounts and they're not actually showing you what products that they have actually got in stock, well, they're actually holding. You don't fully know. You're just going off belief, yeah. And when there's all the hype around money and that prospect, and everybody wants to make an extra quid or two. Don't get me wrong. Everyone thinks about the future, being able to retire and have to worry about money. But like I say, where there's money to be made, there's always people being taken advantage of. There's always rug pulls, yeah, and small guys often lose. That's the bottom line. I just think all this data, because the data does show it, but I just think the data built an illusion, and it's how long this illusion could be kept up for. So yeah, I apologise for a bit of a rant. I get things off my chest. Like I say, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments. But either way, just got to say it. Like I say, I've been seeing a lot of this content, and it's just been grinding my gears. I had to just get it off my chest, and it saves the missus getting ear fucked. So thanks for listening. Next time should be Pokemon card opening. Yeah, peace out.